The fashion world is buzzing, trembling, and completely captivated. The moment Jungkook's name appeared as the #1 trending topic in global fashion charts, everything stopped. The air shifted, the energy changed, and every fan, from the heart of Seoul to the streets of Paris, knew that something extraordinary had just unfolded. Right behind him, at #2, stood another name that couldn't be ignored, Mingu. Two powerful figures dominating the global conversation, yet the world couldn't stop whispering one question. How did Jungkook rise above everyone, setting a new standard of power and allure in the Calvin Klein universe? From the very first frame of the Calvin Klein campaign, Jungkook's presence was magnetic. His dance wasn't just a performance, it was a statement. Every move he made spoke of confidence, command, and an untamed sense of artistry. The camera adored him. The light followed him like a loyal shadow. As the beat pulsed, his body moved with a rhythm that was both raw and refined, creating a visual masterpiece that felt timeless and dangerous all at once. It wasn't just a fashion shoot anymore. It was history being made before the world's eyes in the digital age where everything trends for seconds and fades in minutes. Jungkook's impact refused to disappear. Within hours, hashtags connected to his Calvin Klein performance skyrocketed to global dominance. Jungkook's CK dance #1 worldwide flooded social media. Fashion critics, stylists, and even rival brands couldn't look away. There was something about his presence, something beyond the clothes, beyond the brand. It was the embodiment of modern allure, the perfect mix of rebellion and grace. Mingu, too, earned his well-deserved spot at #2, a testament to his undeniable appeal and charisma. His sharp visuals and masculine aura drew millions of eyes. But even with all the attention, it was Jungkook who remained at the center of it all, the epicenter of fashion's most electrifying moment of the year. His name wasn't just trending, it was carved into the timeline of global pop culture. Every major publication, from high-end fashion magazines to digital lifestyle outlets, couldn't resist dedicating entire spreads to him. Jungkook redefines the modern man, the golden touch of Calvin Klein's muse, how Jungkook became the symbol of power and sensuality. The headlines kept pouring in. Editors agreed. Never before had a campaign caused such a fusion of art, dance, and fashion dominance. The dance itself wasn't overly choreographed or exaggerated. It was minimal, yet hypnotic. Jungkook's subtle head turns, the sway of his body, the faint smirk that broke across his lips, it all created a symphony of movement that transcended language and culture. It wasn't just about what he was wearing. It was about how he made people feel. And that feeling, that indescribable pulse of energy, made the world realize Jungkook wasn't following trends. He was the trend. For days, discussions exploded online. Fans analyzed every frame, every gesture, every flicker of light that passed over his expression. Was it the confidence? The mystery? The raw magnetism that seemed to pour out of him? The answers varied, but the conclusion remained the same. Jungkook had entered a different league, one that blurred the lines between fashion icon and living legend. Fashion insiders began drawing comparisons to timeless figures in history, names that once defined an era. Yet, even they admitted that Jungkook was something else entirely. He wasn't a replica of the past. He was the beginning of something new. A movement that merged music, performance, and visual storytelling into a singular, unstoppable force. Meanwhile, Mingyu's placement at #2 showed the undeniable power of his influence. His fierce energy, sculpted visuals, and distinct masculine elegance created a perfect contrast to Jungkook's enigmatic charm. The two names at the top of the global trending list represented not competition, but evolution, a moment where K-pop's finest ruled the fashion world, rewriting the hierarchy that had long been dominated by Western icons. The numbers spoke louder than words. Calvin Klein's global engagement rates hit record highs. The campaign's views surpassed anything previously released by the brand, crossing milestones that even its executives hadn't imagined possible. In fashion boardrooms around the world, strategists began whispering about the Jungkook effect, a phenomenon that could transform brand storytelling forever. But behind the glamour and spotlight, there was something deeper in Jungkook's expression during that dance. It was almost poetic, a sense of control mixed with vulnerability, a rare balance that only he could maintain. His performance didn't scream for attention, it commanded it silently. There was elegance in his restraint, fire in his stillness. Every second of that moment burned itself into the memory of anyone who watched. The timeline of fashion history will now always have a clear before and after. Before Jungkook, Calvin Klein was an iconic brand known for its heritage and boldness. After Jungkook, it became a symbol of evolution, of the new era where music idols shape fashion, not the other way around. His reign at number one proved that influence wasn't just about fame. It was about connection, emotion, and presence. As the world celebrated his dominance, fashion houses began to panic. Could they ever replicate this impact? Could anyone else bring the same gravity to a campaign? The answer seemed clear. There was only one Jungkook. His name had transcended boundaries, echoing through industries that once refused to overlap. Fashion photographers spoke about how he made the camera feel alive, as if it was responding to his energy. Stylists described him as a dream in motion. And fans? They simply called him the king of Calvin Klein. Every gesture he made seemed to carry a story. Every glance held a secret. While Mingu held his ground with dignity and strength at number two, the conversation always circled back to Jungkook's unprecedented command of attention. He didn't just wear Calvin Klein, he owned it. And the world couldn't help but fall in love with that effortless dominance. The wave of admiration was followed by another kind of energy, inspiration. Young artists began referencing his moves, fashion lovers imitated his look, and dancers recreated the vibe of his performance. The influence spread like wildfire, transcending the limits of fandom and stepping into the realm of pure artistry. As weeks passed, Jungkook remained on top. The metrics refused to fade. Even as new campaigns emerged, new artists debuted, and new fashion weeks took over the global stage, his name refused to move from that throne of digital dominance. It wasn't luck. It wasn't hype. It was the result of authenticity meeting genius, the rare moment where timing, vision, and charisma collide perfectly. And yet, the beauty of it all lay in the silence after the storm. Jungkook didn't need to boast. He didn't need to explain. His dance had already spoken the loudest language known to fashion. Confidence without words. In the end, this wasn't just about two idols trending in fashion. It was about history being rewritten by someone who dared to express emotion through movement and redefine what it means to be iconic. Jungkook stood tall as the symbol of a generation, one that values authenticity over perfection, depth over display. And as the digital world continued to echo his name, one truth became undeniable. Fashion may have many faces, but in this moment, it belonged to him. Jungkook, the man who turned a Calvin Klein dance into the most unforgettable moment in fashion history, standing firmly at number one while the world watched in awe. The question now isn't how he got there. It's how anyone could ever surpass him. Because from this point on, Jungkook isn't just part of fashion's future. He is the future,